your election headquarters on TV, radio, and online. Election headquarters, supported by Star Ghana.
Now, welcome back. Let's do some election-related stories. And a 55-year-old businessman, Eric Kwachi Dafo, has been elected as the parliamentary candidate for the Nkoko constituency on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party. He polled 191 votes, representing 36.2%, to beat the incumbent Seth Ejeba, popularly known as Shaba, who secured 26 votes.
The 6 candidates who contested for the Nkoko seat on the ticket of the New Patriotic Party include Eric Kwachi Dafo, Vida Jimana Champong, Seth Ejeba, the incumbent Member of Parliament, Kwabena Dusa Okechiri, the former MP for the constituency, Joyce Opoku-Boateng and Yao Owusu-Addo, Director of Radio of the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, GBC. The total number of votes cast was 527. There was heavy police presence to ensure law and order the entire election process. Before the official declaration, these delegates were caught on camera trying to do their own calculation to ascertain who emerges the winner. The Kwawu West Municipal Electoral Officer Eugene Boateng declared the result, after which aspirants gave short speeches and assured the winner of their unflinching support. One of the aspirants, Joyce Opoku-Boateng, spoke to Joy News.
In every race, when you are not the victor, it's not too easy. But I know that, politics is not that straightforward. And what you expect might not always be the case. So I put in my best, and I know that the result is what the delegates want, what the people of Nkoko or the MPP members of Nkoko want. So at the end of the day, the delegates are the kingmakers, and what they say is binding on all of us.
The constituency chairman, George Osei, said there is the need for all aspirants to cooperate to work as a team.
Between the first and the second runners-up was a margin of 5 votes. That should mean we have a great work to do, and there's the need for all the aspirants to cooperate and work together as a team. We had an open competition. I, as a chairman, didn't campaign for any one of the contestants, and for that much, they had confidence in me.
The Eastern Regional First Vice Chairman of the NPP, Alhaji Umar Budinga, commended the delegates and contestants for a peaceful and successful election and urged the supporters of the party to cooperate to win the forthcoming general elections.
We normally get a leader, or we elect somebody who will be the torch bearer or the flag bearer of the party at the constituency level. As you know, this is a contest. The contest is over, and the real battle is the 7th one, which we are going to face NDC squarely and other opposition parties and other political parties within the constituency who are ready to contest.
Speaking to Joy News, the former regional treasurer of the NPP, Eric Kwachi Dafo, who became the eventual winner, thanked the delegates for the confidence reposed in him and called on the other contestants and supporters of the party in the constituency to bury their differences and unite and work hard towards winning the December elections.
I have been associated with this constituency for 21 years, and I have gone through various levels, from constituency secretary to constituency first vice to council of elders to Eastern Regional Treasurer. I've worked for the whole constituency and even the Kwawu block, and I have stayed in this town since 1970. So I believe the strategy and the trick that allowed me to have victory today was my long association with the community.
The MP for Shire Osudoku, David Asuming, who raised concerns about the status of 3 independent candidates who switched allegiance to the NPP, could be facing disciplinary action from the majority caucus. Leaders of the majority side in Parliament are said to be angry with the MP for coming out publicly on the matter without their approval. So what exactly are the constitutional implications? Emmanuel Ante has been finding out.
The MP, in an interview with Joy News, raised concerns about the status of the three independent MPs, Joe Osei for Bekwai, MP for Nkoko Seth Ejeba, and MP for Bosome Freho Oforikuregu, who contested for the parliamentary primaries of the NPP, a clear indication they've switched allegiance. Article 97(1)(h) of the Constitution states that a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat in Parliament if he was elected a member of Parliament as an independent candidate and joins a political party. Standing Order 18 of the Rules of the House also provides that the seat of a member shall be declared vacant by the Speaker under Clause 1b to h of Article 97 of the Constitution. This, when carried through, will create a vacancy and which can only be filled by a by-election. However, the critical issue is that, per the same Constitution, a by-election cannot be held 3 months to the general election. This is a particularly difficult situation and perhaps explains why the Majority Caucus is unhappy with Mr. Asumeng for speaking on the matter too soon. He is likely to face the disciplinary committee of the Majority Caucus. There is a precedent though. Former MP for Tamale Central, Dr. Wayoseni, who announced his resignation from the NDC party on 2nd March 2006, crossed carpet to the ruling New Patriotic Party, NPP, right on the floor of the House. The Speaker at the time, Justice Ebenezer Sechi Hughes, then declared the seat vacant and a by-election was subsequently held. But in the case of the three MPs, the House is yet to debate on the issue before the Speaker announces her ruling on the subject matter. Also, with 3 months to the general elections, it's unclear whether they will be made to complete their term. In a telephone conversation with Joe Osei, he tells Joy News he'd rather adopt the wait-and-see attitude while waiting on the Speaker to rule.
Okay, so joining us on the phone now is a senior law lecturer at GIMPA. His name is Kofi Abochi. Good evening, sir, and thanks for joining us on Joy News at 8.
Good evening.
The argument is that these MPs who have vacated, these MPs who have switched allegiance or contested on the ticket of the NPP have violated Article 97 of the Constitution, and so they must vacate their seats. Do you ascribe to this view?
Well, it does seem that the Constitution is explicit on the matter, that where an independent candidate in Parliament crosses carpet and joins a political party, that candidate would vacate his parliamentary seat. The processes or procedures for doing that are not spelled out in the Constitution. Parliament has the right to come out with its own internal rules regulating these processes. And of course, the procedure in the past has been that the Speaker makes a decision or makes a ruling in respect of that. So what it means is that as we speak, the Member of Parliament, by the Constitution, ought to vacate his seat. However, by the internal rules of parliamentary procedure, the Speaker must make a ruling on that. And so by the Constitutional Convention and indeed Parliament's own rule, until the ruling is made by the Speaker, the persons involved can still continue to, if you like, occupy the seat in Parliament. So in the circumstances, we certainly find ourselves, if you like, in a certain grey area, because the Constitution has spoken, but the same Constitution has given Parliament to regulate its own internal procedure. And Parliament has done that. And in the circumstances, until the Speaker comes in, the MP in question cannot be expelled unilaterally. So he continues to still be in Parliament until the ruling comes.
Okay, but should the Speaker rule that they vacate their seats, we also know that it's not possible to hold a by-election 3 months to the main elections. So then what happens to the constituents of these constituencies?
Well, the reason the Constitution says that within a period of 3 months to the elections, there should be no election, is to ensure two things. First of all, that we don't waste state resources. And secondly, that within the short period of time between a major incident of a vacancy and an election, a major election, the non-representation of those constituents in Parliament does not outweigh the expenditure of resources and the deployment of manpower to do certain things. I think the Constitution does the cost-benefit analysis and comes to a conclusion that in the scheme of things, within the period of 3 months to a major election, we can do without those representation, without a major loss to the people who are actually represented by that particular MP. So in the circumstances, what simply happens is that should the Speaker rule tomorrow, for instance, And should those persons be asked to vacate their seats in Parliament, it simply means they will not be represented for the short period before the elections. And clearly the Constitution thinks that in the scheme of things, there's no major loss to the constituents who are represented thereby.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Kofi Abochi. He is a senior law lecturer at GIMPA. Let's still stay with Parliament, where the House today adopted the constitutional instrument which seeks to give legal backing and regulate the 2012 general elections. The adoption came with caution to the EC from some members of the House who seconded the motion.
The Public Elections Regulations 2012 CI 75 was first laid in Parliament on August 14 in accordance with Article 11.7 of the Constitution and was subsequently referred to the Committee on Subsidiary Legislation for further discussions. The committee on Tuesday submitted its report on the CI 75 and was adopted by the House, but with caution to the Electoral Commission by MP for Kumewu Yauba.
The EC is mandated, whatever area such an action is taking place, to be brought to the notice of all the electoral political parties in the third area, and secondly, to the notice of independent or interested areas.
In seconding the motion, the chairman of the Subsidiary Legislation Committee and MP for Nsuta Kwamang Biposo, Osei Kwame Prempe, commended the EC for a good job done.
Our bill is a good instrument, and the government also commend the EC for doing its work properly. Because yesterday someone asked me from the media, why people are not hearing about this, why do we not know about this? I said that in this one, the EC cooperated with the committee, and therefore we were able to come out freely.
Others also expressed their reservations. According to the report, read on behalf of the committee by MP for Talensi John Akologotia, the Public Elections Regulations 2012 CI 75 conforms with the requirements of the Constitution and other existing electoral laws in the country. Meanwhile, members of Parliament today paid tribute to the late coordinator of the Parliamentary Press Corps, Nana Asare, at the forecourt of the Parliament. Leadership of the House, including the Deputy Speaker, Do Ajahu, recounted their memories of the late Nana, as he is affectionately called by all.
Nana is a good man in every respect. He did with his work with a certain sense of professionalism that you cannot understand. And he was one person that all of us were prepared to deal with without any fear that, look, you could be one person that you could even discuss things with, without thinking that this information or this discussion will leak out.
He is survived by a wife and 7 children.
You're still watching Joy News at 8 on Joy News channel on Multi TV. We'll be right back.